Okay, so yesterday my truck grossed $890. I did 450 miles and my fuel bill was $286. We'll just call it $290 just to keep the figures even. I like to fuel up every night or every evening when I get done so that I know exactly how much fuel I burned for the day. So my truck grossed 890. Take off the 290 that I spent on fuel. That means yesterday my truck brought home $600 after fuel. Now, there's insurance on my truck as well, but my insurance isn't much, mainly because I'm intrastate. I stay in the state. I don't go very far. I've got a radius, I believe, of 200 miles with my insurance company, and that does me just fine. So the cost of insuring my truck is $700 a month, and that's for full coverage. And then there's the registration slash plates or tags that I got on the truck. And I have quarterly in-state for hire tags. They're $500 for the quarter or $2,000 for the year. And then there's heavy highway use that has to be paid. That's $500 for the year. So between registration and heavy highway use, that's $2,500 for the year. We'll just call that $200 a month. And then there's the cost of insurance, which is $700 a month. So between those three, insurance, registration, and heavy highway use, that's $900 a month. We'll just call it $1,000 a month. Breaks down to $250 a week or $50 per day. So take that $50 off what my truck made yesterday. Now, after fuel, registration, and heavy highway use and insurance, my truck brought home $550 yesterday. And then I also like to run a maintenance budget as well. I don't do maintenance on my truck daily, weekly, or monthly, but I do like to put up at least $1,000 a month for maintenance, which breaks down to $250 a week or $50 a day. So once you take off that $50 off what my truck brought home yesterday, I'm down to $500 that my truck brought home yesterday after all expenses. I don't have a truck payment. So that's after fuel, insurance, registration, heavy highway use, and maintenance. My truck made me $500 yesterday. Now, many people that come into trucking believe that to have any type of opportunity to make money in trucking, you need to go OTR. And that may be true. I've never done OTR before. What I do know is that OTR and regional have their own set of drawbacks. So, like, if you're still listening to this video right now and you heard how much my truck grossed yesterday and how many miles I ran, you might be saying, well, your rate per mile is not that good. And I'll give you that. I hear people on YouTube talking about $5 per mile, $7 per mile, $8 and $10 per mile. I'll admit I'm not seeing that, but my freight runs consistently. And I can manipulate my numbers somewhat by bringing back more weight per load because I do get paid per ton. I can also run more than what I ran yesterday. Those numbers were based on me doing 2 runs. There's enough freight that I haul. It runs enough that any day I want to, I can run 3 and I can change up those numbers. Also, because I own my own truck, every now and then I do work for someone else. Just a couple of weeks ago, I did some flatbed work on the weekend. So I can manipulate my numbers a whole lot, but just based on what my truck did yesterday, after all expenses, bringing home $500, if I multiply that by a 5-day week, that's $2,500 for the week, times 4 weeks in a month, that's $10,000 in a month that my truck made after all expenses. I'm intrastate. I'm home every night. I'm not having to deal with the FMCSA. I don't have an MC number. I don't need a DOT number. I don't have to do electronic logging device, ELD, and I don't have to run a paper log at all. So, like, again, if you want to do OTR and you believe that that's the only way to really make money in trucking, that's one thing, but it does have its own set of drawbacks. Trucking is personal, all right? You can, with enough knowledge, set your trucking career up to work for you just like you like to work, just like I've done. So while there'll probably be somebody down in the comments saying, you ain't making no money, you need to be making more. I got a friend that makes 10 times more than you. While you'll probably see that somewhere down in the comments, just know that in this business, one man's trash is definitely another man's treasure.